Okay, let's get started. Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. Um, Not today. In the spirit of Mindfulness Monday, we'll drop into a real sort of basic foundational one. And this is in part inspired by a coaching session I just had, um, which involved this process that we all do called catastrophizing. So it's like the negativity bias on steroids, right? It's like something not so good or unpleasant happens, or oftentimes we're just anticipating that it might happen. It hasn't even happened yet, but basically what anxiety is all about. You're sitting there spinning on, oh my gosh, terrible things are going to happen. I probably won't know how to handle it, and things are going to go sideways, and it's going to be disaster. It's going to be a catastrophe. And really, at the heart of what's going on there mechanically is is the thing that we can counteract or practice with a mindfulness practice. So when we think without knowing that we're thinking, right? So when we go through this process where all of this mental chatter is happening, but we're not aware that we are, in essence, the thinker of the thoughts, then we get confused because we start confusing the thoughts with who we are rather than, no, 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 wait a second, I am the thinker, and these thoughts are happening, and I'm thinking these things, but they're just experiences that I'm having. They don't define me. And so I thought today we could spend some time, to whatever extent we can, to sort of tap into the experience of noticing what it's like when we become mindful of this process called thinking, which is happening all day long. So it's a real sort of basic, hopefully not too esoteric, exercise. So let's uh, let's let's go there and see what happens. So start by closing your eyes. Let's take a couple minutes to arrive, and noticing where does your attention go? What does the mind start focusing on when you close the eyes? Some of us attention goes inward, like we immediately notice our what's going on in our heart center, our belly. And then sometimes our mind sort of expands outwards. As soon as we take away sight, the mind gets really active. It wants to fill in that space that gets created by closing the eyes. There's no right or wrong here. Just the goal is just to notice what happens. The intention for today's practice is cozy up to this experience of thinking. Like, what does it mean to what are thoughts? Where do they come from? Why those thoughts, not other thoughts? So right now, just establishing a home base, just sitting, breathing, just noticing the real basics of just existing right now. Whatever you notice is welcome. Again, there's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad. It's just noticing. And then watch what happens if you're in this place, eyes closed, just sitting. And now we're just going to make some space with silence. I'm just going to be quiet for a couple of minutes. And the intention here is just notice what happens when there's space and quiet. It's been less than 2 minutes. And so just become aware of what happened to the state of the mind in that silence. For the most part, mind does not like stillness. It likes to be busy. So there's this constant process called thinking. Right now, see again what happens. We're just still and quiet. See if you can become aware of thoughts appearing and then disappearing. Just wait for it. And if it's difficult for you to stay with this, so just waiting and observing part, this bearing witness, just know that's totally normal. Again, the mind is constantly thinking, and for the most part, we're not even aware that we're thinking. We're just so attached, we're so connected with the content of the thoughts. And it's really easy to forget that we don't choose the thoughts, we don't choose the content of them, we don't choose which thoughts show up when. It's a really peculiar thing to become aware of. It's also really empowering skill to learn how to do. So just waiting and noticing thoughts coming and going. And the goal here is not to judge thoughts, not to make them good or bad. Of course, sometimes thoughts are pleasant, sometimes they're unpleasant. But the goal is just to flex that awareness muscle of just becoming mindful of, I'm just sitting here. The more space I make, the more the mind wants to fill that space with thoughts and memories and ideas, visuals, words. It's just what the brain does in the same way that I can also become aware of my heartbeat. So see if you can do that. Just notice a sensation in the chest. Heart is just beating. And we can relate to the heartbeat as an object of our attention. We've become mindful of the sensation or the sound of the heart beating. We don't get confused by thinking that that's what defines us. It's something that we experience. So the same thing with thoughts. We just wait patiently. We can notice the mind thinking without getting confused that those thoughts define us or are the full extent of who we are. And if there's any part of you that's struggling with it, just know it's again, it's totally normal. It's hard work to just stay aware and unattached and uninvolved with thoughts. It's because we're so used to believing everything that we think. We're thinking that it's all so important and so worthy of our attention. So we're really conditioned and used to just buying into all of it. And so there's something that can be quite challenging just take a step back and say, huh, there's me. And then there's those things called thoughts or emotions or sensations. I get to just bear witness to all of that stuff happening. Take a deep breath in, blow out breath. Just relaxing into the body, the chair, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Through the nose and out. Just relaxing the chest, the belly, the hands. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes. Um, yeah, this is happening all the time, and I think it's really worth flexing that mindfulness muscle on a regular basis, and usually just by creating some stillness, then we begin to notice all these other things going on. But oftentimes, if things are really happening quickly and speedily, it's really hard to discern that. So anyway, hope that was helpful, and hope to see you tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone.